This is Fairweather Fancast. I'm Josh Haley alongside my good buddy,
Hi, I'm Brad Cox. What's up?
and we're here to talk about little sports for you. Don't get it confused. Fairweather Fancast might be the name, but we're both diehard fans of our respective teams. Even if they've been at the top of the division or down in the cellar, we're going to still talk about them with as much vigor and conviction as it's day one of the season every single week. So let's get to it. Let's talk some football.
Yeah, so who's your team, Josh? Let's let everybody know.
Yeah, so I'm a diehard Buffalo Bills fan. Most of my dad's family's from northern New York, western New York area, Buffalo. So grew up following that team. Love the Bills. With a passion. We suck. But let's just be real. But 2017, 2018 made the playoffs for the first time in 17 years. Coincidentally, I do remember the last time they were in the playoffs. I was like 7 years old, and the legendary Miracle in Music City, or whatever you want to call it. I call it the forward pass. But yeah, that's my team. Love the Nationals, love the Sabres, but Bills are pretty much my passion. So
I hear you. I'm the same way with the Steelers, aka Drama City, or what used to be known as the Drama City of the NFL.
yeah, I mean, you guys used to be a steel curtain of respect and how a team is supposed to be run up until about what, like
When
3 months
Cowher
ago?
retired.
Yeah, pretty much. So.
And Carroll we trust, baby.
Yeah.
Tomlin's not bad. He's too soft.
I like Tomlin. I think he has some great sound bites too.
This is very true. This is very true. He does catch a lot of flack. I feel it's a little unnecessary. I think the Steelers do have a pretty toxic fan base, for the most part, like some other semi-popular teams do. But
Well, I mean, it goes with the territory. 5 Super Bowl win or 6.
it is six.
Six
It is
Super Bowl wins,
Stairway to
all right.
7. Stairway to 7.
Stairway to 7. I like that. I mean, one can be said for the continuity of a team that's only had 4 managers in their history, or 3.
I believe it is 4.
4?
I'm
Yeah, so-
not the most historically accurate human being. But I know Chuck Noll was there forever.
Yeah, so it was Noel, and then after Noel, I think
'Cause he was the second or third.
Yeah.
I believe I'd
Well,
have to
I'm
reference that.
straight from the merger, right? So when the AFL and the NFL came together, I think you guys have had either 3 or 4, but
Oh, since the merger,
Yeah.
it was Noel, Cowher, and then Tomlin.
Yeah,
He's number
yeah.
3. Yeah, pre-mergers before. I mean, the Steelers weren't shit back then.
it doesn't matter. I mean,
Yeah.
I think one year you guys are called the Steagles.
We were the Steagles. We also merged with the Chicago Cardinals at one point in time as
That's
well.
right. That's right. A little bit of
fun
a
fact.
little fun facts right there. We have a fun facts section. We just throw out stuff.
I like how I know those weird facts, but I don't know how many coaches there were.
Yeah, Fairweather Fancast right there, number 1. Well, I'll tell you what. So, I mean, we got Antonio Brown. That's been a topic of conversation for almost the whole summer, the whole off season. He forces his way out of Pittsburgh, and he ends up on Oakland, where they have
Yeah, it's because him and Roethlisberger weren't friends.
No, I guess they weren't friends, but they were able to light the league up for 4 years. So, you get Hard Knocks coming in, and it's just kind of like a Hollywood phenomenon where you got John Gruden, who was like, oh yeah, man, Spider X, White Banana. We got Terrell Owens 2.0 and Antonio. Whole side note: best facial hair in the NFL.
I don't know anymore. A couple years ago, I could have easily said it was my man Brett Kiesel.
Oh yeah,
Kiesel definitely had the best beard in all of human beings' history.
man, looked like he was a dwarf from Lord of the Rings.
Yeah. Fun fact, Brett Kiesel, he grew that beard out every year, and he would do a giant charity auction called Shear the Beard. And you would, it would raise money. You'd pay money and get to come take a nice chunk of his beard off until he was clean shaven.
That's kind of like a little bit of a throwback to the old school pep rallies where you would just beat the shit out of a car in a parking lot at a high school, right?
Yep.
I like that. Love that.
Yeah, I believe it went to the Children's Hospital of Pittsburgh.
That's awesome, man.
I
That's
thought it was
great.
pretty cool.
Yeah,
Brett
very
Kiesel's
cool.
a cool dude. I miss him.
Yeah, maybe his number will be retired.
I doubt it. They don't retire nobody's damn number.
Yeah. Well, All right, let's get to it. So, Antonio Brown, what are your thoughts? I mean, I'm gonna let you take the road with this. This is your team that used to be your guy, and
He was.
yeah, breaking news today. He obviously gets cut by Oakland, and then he's immediately picked up within an hour by the Pats. And I mean, who could have saw it coming, right?
Uh, Apparently a lot of people could have seen it coming. Um, I'm a roll a little highlight reel real quick at this
Go
point
for
in
it.
time. Because I got a couple videos I want to share with everybody here and some sound bites. September 6th, 2019.
I want to apologize to my teammates, the organization. Enough talk, man. I'm excited to be out here with my teammates and grateful for all the fans. And I'm excited to be a part of Raiders and see you guys soon.
Then, early morning, September 7th, Antonio Brown makes an Instagram post asking for his release. Within 2 hours, maybe 3, of his Instagram post, this comes flying out the media.
Jay, the saga that never ends has reached something of an end, at least for now, in Oakland, with the Raiders officially releasing Antonio Brown as he requested be done early this morning. The release after the Raiders fined him over $215,000, told him that he would not be entitled to any termination pay in a separate letter, and basically voided his guarantees.
Then, just a few short hours later, this man somehow signs with the Patriots.
It did not take very long, and it is exactly what everyone who thought they were so funny this morning was saying, except it's extremely real. A one-year deal for Antonio Brown with the New England Patriots. Yes, actually, the New England Patriots. It's a one-year deal with up to $15 million. Sources say he gets a $9 million signing bonus. And for Antonio Brown, who told me earlier this morning, no guarantee, no way. In other words, he needed guaranteed money. He now gets at least $9 million guaranteed with the Patriots in the form of a signing bonus.
Like, this is some of the craziest stuff I've ever seen in my entire life. This clown somehow sabotaged or worked his way out of Oakland, signs with the Super Bowl defending champions for a ton of money, all in the same day. Now that everything's unfolded, either he really is the craziest person that has ever lived in the NFL, or he is the best method actor that has ever walked on the face of this planet.
I like that.
I have no doubt in my mind after today, this was 100% orchestrated, because he wasn't getting dealt where he wanted to go by Pittsburgh. So he was cool with getting traded to the dumpster fire of the Oakland Raiders, though.
Yeah.
He wasn't going to Buffalo.
No.
That wasn't happening. But he'd go to Oakland, which, there's not too big of a difference as far as, I feel like I would have rather gone to Buffalo, minus the cold.
Yeah, I mean, minus the cold. Josh Allen's got a big arm, and he's a fast receiver. You can send it downfield. You got to say about Carr, he's West Coast. Different people have different strengths and everything, but I completely agree with you. I think that this was premeditated, and if you just look at the, everything that's happened in the past 2 months, the cryotherapy, the frostbite, the helmet debacle, I'm all in or I'm all out. He told the general manager he was going to punch him in the face.
Yeah, and he punted football, called him a cracker.
Yeah.
I shared this beautiful meme earlier where it's Bill Belichick on the phone saying, call him a cracker. Or did you call him a cracker? It was something like that. I'm going to flash it up for you.
Yeah, I like that. The wild thing is that a lot of football homers will definitely say oh well, I don't think that he's going to be able to buy into the Patriot way because we're all about the Pats, not by the name on the back of the jersey. But if you think about it, I mean, if you were dealt to a team which preseason prediction doesn't have them making it out of the division, let alone, I mean, maybe a wild card in the AFC, but that's a tough division. And that's just a tough conference in general. Yeah, I think that him, orchestrating everything that he did puts him in a position to, take the Pats back to the Super Bowl, which, makes me extremely unhappy. But it's just the NFL that we're living in.
At the same time, I mean, New England does have history. Ocho Cinco, Randy Moss.
Yep.
I know there's one or two others. A spade's a spade.
Yeah.
And he's the spadiest of all the spades. He's the ace of spades.
We got to make a card deck and have kind of like how they did with like the America's Most Wanted, like with the Taliban and the Jihad. And then we'll have him as the ace of spade, and then all the other players after that. Deck of 52. Definitely.
Might be a fun segment later on.
Yeah.
Because I honestly think Antonio Brown has mental issues.
Yeah, CTE.
From the concussion he received from the Vontae Burfict hit a couple years ago.
Yeah.
A lot of people say it's ever since he got that money, he's been downhill. He was getting paid pretty good prior.
Yeah.
It wasn't this top dollar he was making at the end, but he was still getting paid good.
Yeah, I mean,
he was still the star of the show, but he got wrecked by Burfict. Like I was scared about that hit.
Yeah, I remember that. Yeah. And coincidentally, you're wearing the shirt, the Karma shirt.
That's the Karma shirt from when Juju knocked Burfict out.
Yeah.
The following year. Yep. Ever since then, he has been downhill since then. So if he isn't like some crazy mastermind criminal working his way through the NFL how he wants to at this point in time, he definitely probably has some sort of mental health issue in regarding to brain damage from that hit. It's my theory on the situation.
Yeah.
I could be wrong.
Yeah, I mean, hey, we won't find out until years later when he's retired, and you definitely don't want to wish harm on somebody by any means.
Oh, no,
but,
absolutely not.
Just by the track record of what's happened, I tell you what, man, it's pretty hard to argue against it.
Like I said, that was my dude, man. I loved you on Business is Booming. That shit was awesome.
Oh, yeah. It was fun to watch. I mean, like Pittsburgh, blue collar town, Buffalo, blue collar town. I've always, had a soft spot for the Steelers. The bus, loved that.
That was my dude, my favorite player all time.
I mean, that year when they, was that 2003, 2004 Super Bowl?
When they played in Detroit?
Yeah, when they played in Detroit.
No, I was a junior or senior in high school. I'm really bad with the years, but that was either 2005. I think it was 2005.
Yeah, that sounds a little bit better.
I know the Seahawks.
Yeah, I mean, that was almost like a home game for them. Right?
Yes, it was.
Yeah.
Fun fact about that is they got knocked out of the playoffs with the young Roethlisberger, and the bus was going to retire. And Roethlisberger was like, dude, come back one more year. I swear I'll get you a Super Bowl next year.
Yeah.
And the bus ended up going for it near the end of the offseason, decided to stay one more year, and sure as hell, Ben Roethlisberger took him to the Super Bowl, and they won in his hometown of Detroit.
My favorite memory from that playoff season by them is the bus fumbles the football. He gets back up, he forces the fumble on the guy who recovered the fumble to basically save the game. Because, I mean, they were down, it was favorable field position. I can't remember what team they were playing. Maybe the Titans. I don't know. But, forces the fumble. A lot of heart. Vikings?
Go ahead. Sorry. Go ahead.
I can't remember. It doesn't matter. The bus loved him, and that type of football where it's, smash mouth, ground and pound, it's a thing of the past. And you and myself have, been blessed to be able to live through the end of that era and then also see the beginning of this, like, college style aerial attack offense where you have teams who are throwing the ball for like 350 to almost 500 yards a game. I mean, look at Drew Brees and his ability to consistently get 400 yards a game in the field. And you can say like, oh, he plays in a dome for half the year. There's no weather elements or anything like that. But like scheme, play style, system, then you can get into the argument like, oh, well, certain players are system quarterbacks or system players. But how the NFL has gone from, where it was in the early 2000s to now, where we're on the verge of the 100th season, it's incredible. And with that, I think that we should probably move into picks for week 1.
Yeah, let's go for it. See, what games do you think are most notable? If you had to pick 3 games to watch this week, what games would you watch?
All right. Well, one, I'm just going to leave the Bills out of it because I'm going to watch that regardless, right? But unbiased aside, I'm looking at the Steelers Pats. That should be a good game. That's Monday night.
No, that's tomorrow night, baby.
That's tomorrow night. Okay, yeah. So Sunday Night Football, 8:20 NBC. We got the Pats and the Steelers. I'm thinking that's gonna be a pretty good game. I don't want to. This is my take. I know that's your team, but I think that the Pats are probably gonna take it out, like maybe like a 27-24 victory, something like that.
They are in New England.
In New England, yeah.
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 Let's start at the beginning
Start
of
at
this
the top?
list here, and we'll go down with your picks here, Josh.
Okay, so obviously Thursday Night Football, we had the Packers and the Bears kick off the 100th season with like the oldest rivalry in the original NFL. Real barn burner, right? 10-3 final. Everybody knows how that happened.
That was rough for the Bears.
Oh yeah, that's a tough one.
Sorry, Bears fans.
Oh, by the way, like Bears defense, they better start holding teams to that number because I got them on fantasy this year, and I need those points. But let's roll with it. Game number 1, 1:00, Bills Jets. It's it's just another game between Josh Allen and Sam Darnold, the first 2 quarterbacks taken in that draft, 2017 draft. So it's in New York. The Bills made a lot of changes this year. I'm going to be a homer here. I'm going to say the Bills win narrowly, 21-17. 2 touchdowns in the air for Allen, 1 on the ground, and Singletary carries the load for about like 80 yards on the ground. What do you think about that one?
It's tough for me. So I want to see your Bills do good.
Yeah, but Le'Veon Bell.
Well, I'm not a fan of Le'Veon. I was, but I'm not a fan of the whole holding out. Same thing like that. I can't believe Dallas gave Elliott that money.
We're going to get into that for sure.
Yeah. That's nuts to me because players are starting to. Yeah, we'll talk about that later.
Sure.
Le'Veon Bell is definitely going to be the X factor in that game. Because if he doesn't show up to play, which I don't think he will. I mean, he just took a whole year off, been playing Xbox, making mixtapes, not getting hit, not playing football. But if he does show up, I think he's in 70% form of what he was prior to holding out. I think he's going to eat y'all up if that O-line can do him any sort of justice like they did in Pittsburgh.
Do they give him a majority of the carries week 1?
Oh, they're going to run him in the ground.
Yeah.
They're going to run him in the ground. They gave him that money that he wanted because of how many touches he got in Pittsburgh. I don't see him not getting ran into the ground.
Yeah, I completely agree with you there. I mean, pay the guy, play him. Game number 2, we got the Titans and the Browns. This is an interesting game because you got 2 mobile quarterbacks with Mariota and old Baker Taker. I'm going Browns here. Yeah, I'm high on them this year. I'm with the consensus of everybody in America how the Browns might be America's new team. Not really high on the Titans defense. I think Browns win this one. I think they win it big.
I know Odell is a little bit hurt still.
Yeah.
That is also the X factor for that game. But at the same time, the Browns defense might be a little bit nasty this year.
Yeah.
I'm actually a little worried about them being in my division. Not because of OBJ, because of their defense.
Their defense, yeah. I mean, their run defense is stout.
I think Odell Beckham's going to Odell Beckham and be the same problem he was in New York.
I think that with the Landry on the other side, it's one of those players, whether if they double Odell or double Landry, one of them is going to have a big game, and then it's just going to be at the point where, okay, we can cover a safety up top over one of them, and then you still got Njoku, the tight end, who can catch balls underneath. It's just going to be, I think they're like almost like the NFL's pariah this year. Like it's going to be fun to watch. I'm taking the Browns in that one.
I'm going to back you up on that one, just because I don't see the Titans are going to have a sad year this year.
Yeah, and contract year for Mariota, too. He could be walking.
Plus, they're in Cleveland. They're all going to be hyped up.
Yeah.
Baker Mayfield is a pretty decent quarterback. Is he going to be a great quarterback? Only time will tell.
Yeah, I agree.
As of right now, I think he's just going to be another Tim Couch, where he's just going to have a decent career, and then he might end up getting run out of Cleveland.
Yeah,
Cleveland's a tough town.
you went with Tim Couch. I'll go with that one. I mean, Tim Couch was all right, and then he got ran out.
But he seems like he's a good kid. I like him personality wise. I'd
Yeah.
like to see him, because my time in Pittsburgh, I feel it's starting to wind down, to a full rebuild mode here coming up, and I would like to see them rise from the ashes of the AFC North
Like a phoenix.
The city of Cleveland deserves it, man.
Oh, 100%, man. I mean, I got a few aunts that live in Cleveland, and they're snowbirds. They go down to Florida in the wintertime, and when LeBron won that championship for the Cavaliers, they flew back up for the parade. I mean, the fan base in Cleveland can be comparable to like fan bases of whether it's the Bills or the Steelers or the Cowboys. Like, they love their town, they love their sports teams, and I'm happy for them. I think that they could definitely be a wild card team, but we'll get into future predictions after this. But I'm taking the Browns for sure.
All right, here's the one everybody locally wants to hear. Redskins at Eagles in Philly. I think this is a no-brainer.
Yeah, I agree with you. Redskins, right?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah, I'm going Eagles.
Who ended up winning that starting quarterback job? Are they going with old rookie boy? I can't remember his name right now.
I think that they're probably going to go with Keenum, and then bring on. I don't know if Ohio. What's his name?
I can't remember.
I
remember he was projected to be number one. I'm having a brain fart right now.
Yeah. So I think that if Colt McCoy was healthy, it would have been Colt McCoy, and I think that a lot of Redskins fans would. It's Dwayne Haskins. That's his name. I think that if Colt was healthy, it would have been Colt. But that's one of those things. You trade for a veteran quarterback. You got Case Keenum, who, let's just be honest, he had a great year in Minnesota, and it was kind of like one of those situations where you got a backup quarterback who takes over for an injured starter, and a lot of things can be said about that Minnesota team with Teddy Bridgewater going down and then Sam Bradford. But he gets that big deal to go to Denver, plays terrible within his first 5 games, gets benched.
They are starting Keenum.
Yeah, I mean, they almost ran Elway out of town because of that. And I don't know. It's going to be Keenum, and I'm gonna predict the score here. It's gonna be big.
I'm going 35-7.
Yeah. Eagles definitely scoring in the 30s, and the only touchdown that the Redskins get is probably going to be with either Darius Geis or Adrian Peterson on the ground. It's like a punch in like from like the 5-yard line, something like that. I don't know. It definitely is going to be the Eagles. Sorry, everybody who is a Washington fan. We're located here, Fredericksburg. Everyone's a Redskins fan or a Dallas fan, which is pretty wild. But it's going to be the Eagles.
All right, what we got next year? We got the Falcons and the Vikings.
I'm thinking the Falcons come back from their little bit of a failed Super Bowl hangover, and I think Falcons win this game, man. I loved Kirk Cousins. I thought that Kirk Cousins could have been a good quarterback, but it's going to be the Falcons.
Yeah, I'm in agreement with you on that one.
Yeah,
I don't really have a score prediction because that could go either way.
That one's going to be tight.
The X factor in that game. You're playing in Minnesota.
Yeah, in Minnesota, Thielen, good receiver, late bloomer. Vikings, they play in a dome now? Yeah.
I think they do, but that dome's only protecting so much from the outside elements. I could be wrong.
Yeah, I think you're in Minnesota. I think that division right there, by the way, is a tight race between 3 teams: Packers, Bears, Minnesota. I think it's going to be the Falcons. I think that Matt Ryan has a big day and comes back and just probably slings for like maybe 4 touchdowns, 1 pick off of like a tip at the line. I don't know. It's gonna be a high score. I think it's gonna be a shootout. It's gonna be like a 42 to 30 something game or something like that. Some crazy score. Yeah, man.
All right, we got the Chiefs at the Jaggies. I'm going Jaguars.
Ooh, a little upset factor, huh?
Yeah, I'm going Jaguars.
Okay. Who's their quarterback?
Nick Foles.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
Super Bowl hero.
I got him on one of my fantasy teams.
Oh,
I don't do the season long fantasy.
I hear that. Your
Well,
pick'ems
actually, I
guy.
did do that this year strictly because of the podcast.
Oh, nice.
I normally just do FanDuel
Okay.
and do weekly stuff. I'm running Foles because the Chiefs' defense, I'm planning on being a little bit weak.
Yeah, they lost a few guys.
They lost a lot of you guys on both
Howard,
sides of the ball.
and Barry gone. Both safety and their defensive ends gone. I think that with the absence of Kareem Hunt, that's a big thing for the Chiefs that they're gonna have to give over. I mean, obviously he's not on the team anymore. He's with the Browns with the 6-game suspension. But yeah, I think Mahomes is a great quarterback, but I'm gonna go with Jaguars with you here because I'm not sold on the Chiefs.
I mean, they're in Jacksonville. We just had the hurricane come through Florida.
Yep.
Got Foles with the chip on his shoulder.
Oh yeah.
I think they're showing up.
Yeah, I agree. I say they wear all black and they just start the season out strong with a upset win and really try to propel themselves in that division that no longer has Andrew Luck. So yeah, I agree with you, Jaguars.
That's my game to watch at 1:00.
Yeah,
For sure.
yeah, that's a good one. I like that.
The other one, because we got some, we're close to Baltimore. It's
Yeah.
going to be the Ravens Dolphins game.
Oh, that'll be on TV.
For sure. I'm going Dolphins because fuck the Ratbirds.
Yeah, well, fuck them too, but also fuck the Dolphins. So I'm gonna go Ravens. The Dolphins are going to be the worst team in the league. That's my pick for. They're getting number 1 overall draft pick in this coming draft. I think the Ravens are going to win this game, but I think it's going to be like a 17 to 10 win because the Ravens can't throw the ball with Lamar Jackson. They're a heavy run team. It's going to be the Ravens for me.
Is this old boys from New England's first time being head coach? That's the X factor in that game.
Ooh, I think so.
I think it is. I can't remember his name. It's old Blackbeard the Pirates, what I called him.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I feel you. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I just don't want the Dolphins to win because, they're the Bills' biggest rival.
We're biased because of our divisions.
Yeah.
I feel that's a fair square.
That's. Let's just. Can we toss that on as a tie, maybe?
Let's go with tie.
Let's go with tie.
Let's go with the tie.
That sounds good.
Because the tie is worse than a loss.
Yeah, definitely.
In my opinion.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Plus they got old boy from Arizona, who's
Rosen.
draft pick last year. Yeah, Rosen.
Yeah. So I mean, you got.
He's got a chip too now.
Oh yeah.
The Dolphins don't have too bad of a squad. They made some moves.
Yeah, I mean, they got rid of Ndamukong Suh last year, which freed up some cap space because they didn't have to re-sign him. And that might be, as much as I don't want to say it, with the AFC East being, so dominated by the Pats, but that team's young. If Rosen has a good year, I mean, they could be a team on the rise. I don't hope for it, but it could be.
Rams Panthers. I feel it's fair.
Yeah, it's fair. Let's just go with Rams. Yeah,
Gurley's gonna eat that up.
Yeah, I think so too. I think towards the end of the year last year, he was a little overworked, and that's why we didn't get to see him that much in the Super Bowl. But yeah, I'm going Rams. Cam Newton, he had that stellar MVP year in 2015, 2016. But yeah, this is going to be Rams. Yeah. So then the other LA team, Chargers Colts.
Yeah, 4:00. We're moving on the 4:00 game.
4:00 games.
Chargers all day.
Yeah, Chargers all day. I think that Brissett, he's like a product of, New England and everything, but losing Andrew Luck just really, really hurt that team's chances.
100%.
I don't see
my
the
heart
Colts.
breaks for that dude.
Yeah, me too. We could talk about that.
Yeah, we're going to talk about that later.
Yeah.
Speaking of later stuff, I want to talk about salary cap for a minute. There's something I didn't touch on earlier.
Yeah, good call. Good call. Bengals, Seahawks. Seahawks.
Bengals got going worst team in the AFC North.
I think that they're going to be in contention with the Dolphins for number 1, number 2 pick.
I got them winning. I think they're winning 5 games this year.
I think that's a stretch, but yeah, I think it's 3 games this year.
Yeah, 'cause they let quite a few guys go.
Yeah, and I think that Andy Dalton, this is This is a make or break year for him, and they just don't have the weapons for him to do that. I mean, they still have AJ Green.
No,
but
he's a good quarterback.
I think so too. I think he
he's
would
not
be
a
great.
legend.
No, he's not a legend. I think he's a serviceable game manager quarterback who can make it happen if you have the weapons around him. And we saw that when Jay Gruden was the offensive coordinator there, and they had, AJ Green had his coming out party, and they had that one running back. I can't remember his name, but like he was a scat back out of the backfield that would just catch balls for like 50, 60 yards a game. Just, it was incredible. But yeah, Seahawks in that one. 420-5 game, we got the Lions and the Cardinals. This one's a toss-up for me. Yeah, it could go either way.
Same.
Yeah, I think, the Cardinals got the number 1 pick previous draft. They drafted Kyler Murray, everything surrounding him. Like, is he going to play baseball or is he going to play football? The Lions, it's sad to talk about the Lions sometimes. But yeah, that game's a toss-up. I think that I'm going to go on a limb. It's going to be the Cardinals.
I am too, just because Larry Fitz is still playing.
Yeah, I love that guy.
Yeah, who doesn't?
Why can't wide receivers be more like Larry Fitzgerald and less like Antonio Brown?
I think he's the last of his kind. I think Hines Ward and Larry Fitz are the last of the humble, non-showboaty, Princess Diva receivers that were good, like top of the class good.
Yeah, like top 5 in the league good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What's his name for Atlanta? I can't think of his name. Julio Jones.
Oh, Julio.
Yeah, I'll put him up there. Hey, he's a classy guy.
Yeah, he never gets any off the field drama or anything like that. I like Julio.
Yeah. That's why we forgot about him, because he's so off the radar, except in highlight reels.
We should do like a top 5 blue collar stand up wide receivers, like the class of 2019 stand up wide receiver draft.
Okay.
Yeah, let's do it.
Yeah,
not right now, but we'll put it together.
Next episode. Yeah, we're running out of material.
Look forward to that.
All right. Well, we got Niners and the Bucks.
The Buckies.
I'm going Jimmy Grop in the 90s.
Yeah, I'm going Jimmy G too. The Buccaneers, Fitzmagic is going to fizzle out very, very quickly this year. And I like Fitzmagic. I mean, he led the Bills to a 6-0 start in 2011, 2012, and I was high on him.
Fitzpatrick?
Yeah.
Is he still playing for them?
Yeah, he's the starting quarterback, bro.
No.
Yeah, he's going to start. I think he's going to start over Jameis.
Oh. You can
is he?
Keep talking.
Right?
I don't think so. That's former player.
He plays for the Dolphins, the other Florida team.
Okay. Yeah.
So let's get on the topic of Jameis Winston for a second, because I think that this is also another player with a make-or-break year at quarterback. You got Bruce Arians coming over from Arizona. Hell of a football mind, right? Like, when Pagano got sick for the Colts, and he leads the Colts to playoff berth with Andrew Luck rookie year. They come up short. I think they lost to the Steelers. But yeah, I think that if Jameis doesn't show out this year, I think it's the final year on his rookie deal right now, and they got a team option, or they have a team option this year, team option next year. I'm not sure. That guy this might be his last chance.
Yeah, now he's going to backup land.
Yeah. The land of the journeyman quarterback. Good salary.
Yeah, that's very true. Over $1 million a year just to stand on the sidelines,
hold the clipboard,
replay and hold the clipboard. Yep.
This is a big game right here. 425. We got the Giants and the Cowboys. Is Zeke gonna play?
That I don't know, but I'm still taking the Cowboys.
I'm taking the Cowboys too. I love Saquon Barkley.
Who do the Giants even have?
Well, they still have Eli, but they have Saquon Barkley. Eli,
yeah, but Eli's career's done. This is the last
agree.
year.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I feel terrible as a football fan.
At least in New York, it's his last year.
I can't name a single Giants wide receiver right now.
I can't name anybody. The only people I can name
Saquon and Eli.
In OBJ last year, and that's only because he was on ESPN like every other minute throwing a helmet or kicking a.
He was the Terrell Owens of 2018.
Yeah, these are facts, my friend.
Yeah, I'll tell you what. They got a lot of flack when they drafted that kid out of Duke, or not Duke, Chapel Hill, UNC.
Yeah.
Daniel Jones.
Like you said during that little broadcast you did on Facebook Live, that you liked small school quarterbacks.
Oh, I love small school quarterbacks if they play in like the MAC, not in the ACC.
Um,
This is your
Yeah.
game right here.
yeah. Yep, we're going on 820. You already picked them. Yeah, I'm going Steelers because my
Huh,
boys.
what's your team?
I think we're either going to get wrecked or it's going to be a fourth quarter shootout coming down to the wire.
I would just really love to see a really great game for the first Sunday night football game. Like, just great game to watch. I'm gonna be pulling for the Steelers, honestly, because anybody that the Patriots play, I'm the other team's favorite fan that day. But
We'll touch back on this game in
Okay.
just a second. Let's finish out these picks because I got a question for you.
all right, yeah,
That'll ramble off what I got to say about this game.
okay.
And then Monday night we got the Texans at the Saints. I'm going Texans.
I want to go Texans because I'm a homer for JJ Watt, man. I love that guy, but I just don't think that their offense can put up with the firepower of the Saints. I think it's going to be a shootout. I think that this game, both teams are going to score in the 40s. I think that the quarterback that the Texans have, he's coming off of an injury. I think this is going to be his coming out party for year 3.
I forgot they just traded old boy to Seattle.
Yeah, they got rid of Jadeveon Clowney.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, talk about a hit. One guy who makes one hell of a football play in a bowl game for a school. I mean, he went to South Carolina, go Gamecocks, but he leveled that guy. He was on ESPN top 10 for 52 weeks in a row, and sets out his sophomore year just to guarantee that he's the number 1 pick, and then a lackluster start to his career on the Texans. You would think that with him lining up on the opposite side of JJ Watt, he would be able to show out, but I don't know. I think it's a good move by the Texans. I think that they got a terrible return in the trade, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see. I'm going with Saints on that one at a shootout.
All right. And last game, 10:20 p.m. Monday night, Broncos Raiders.
This is my second game to watch, by the way.
Oh yeah, I'm. Obviously I was going with Steelers game for your second game to watch
Mhm.
and third game to watch. I'm gonna go with this one as well.
Yeah, it all stems back to Antonio Brown
100%.
and Hard Knocks, but Antonio Brown for sure. I think the Broncos win this game.
I do too. I think Flacco's ready to come show up and prove he's not a washed up scrub anymore. Because I think he had the odds stacked against him. Baltimore.
I think that now he's not a Raven anymore. I think I like him a little bit more.
These are facts. I mean, he didn't really have anybody on the offense the last couple of years.
No,
It was all defense in Baltimore.
yeah, I mean they had that really really great Super Bowl run. And Torrey Smith, go Stafford. Always loved to watch that happen. But after that Super Bowl, yeah, the weapons, they just disappeared. And they tried a lot of different things. They had Bolden. I mean, Ravens question mark. Broncos win this game.
Yeah, I'm going with that one too. I mean, the Raiders did have a great draft. I just don't think they're ready to roll. I don't think they're ready to roll yet. I think you're going to see them showing up later in the season.
I think the 10-year plan for the Raiders is coming off to a really strange start with what happened this offseason. But hey, it was week 1. Things can change.
Yeah, 'cause we were able to generate some good players with those draft picks
Yes.
we got from them for AB. And I'm sure they're wishing they had them back. Because they got rid of 2 draft picks and all they're getting returns to $260,000.
Yeah, so they basically just got waxed on that deal. Before we talk about what you want to talk about, let's talk about the draft for a second, because I think that the Steelers probably had the best draft for quality of picks that they had out of anybody.
We did have a really good draft. We moved up, which is something we normally don't do. And I was really surprised. And I knew once I flashed up on the screen that the pick was in for the Steelers and the Steelers had traded, I knew they were taking old Bush. And I think they got him slated as the relief backs, playing second string inside, starting out. Good move. You can always swap him out. But I forgot how many. He was in double digits on tackles his first preseason game. I know it's the preseason, but still, He dropped an interception. I know some Steelers fans that are talking mad trash about that, but I mean, it's the man's first NFL appearance ever.
Preseason game.
I don't care if it's a preseason game or not. There are still people in them seats. You're still on TV, which you're somewhat used to, but you're making some big dollars. You got a lot riding on your shoulder. A team traded 2 draft picks to move up in the draft to take you early, and they're ready to ride you out. They're already talking about you replacing Ryan Shazier, who was a monster. God help his soul. I miss that guy. I'm loving. If you don't follow Ryan Shazier on social media, I highly suggest it. If you like inspirational stories and stuff like that, follow Ryan Shazier. His path to recovery has been
incredible,
short of breathtaking.
Yeah.
And that was just a good all-around guy too.
Yeah, love that guy. Freak accident. What happened?
It really was. It was really sad to see.
So, do you think that, some people were coming out of the draft saying that Bush is going to be like possibly the next James Ferry or Larry Foote? Do you think that could happen?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
He's a little bit undersized, but his athleticism is off the charts.
He's like
and he seems like he wants to get it done.
Yeah, he's got speed.
He definitely seems really motivated to come in and be a game changer, which I like a lot.
Yeah, I like him. I like that whole draft.
I mean, didn't his dad play for the Rams? His dad, I believe, won a Super Bowl with the Rams.
Yeah, greatest show on turf.
Yeah.
He played alongside
Kurt Warner,
London Fletcher, and Kurt Warner.
I believe so.
Isaac Bruce and Torrey Holt, all those guys.
Yeah, I believe he was on that Super Bowl team.
Yeah.
I remember his dad, his post-draft interview with his dad. He was all crying. He was like, like, what do you want your son to know? And they were like, I just want to let you know the only reason I'm so hard on you, and I just wasn't telling you good job and stuff like that, was to get you where you're at right now.
Yeah.
I'm glad you're here. Now I can stop being that guy. And
just be proud.
It's be proud that you made it, boy.
That's
He's
awesome.
Crying, and it was awesome.
Yeah.
I love draft. That's the only reason I watch it, because I like seeing the parents and everybody getting all emotional and seeing their dreams realized.
Yeah, it's awesome. The NFL draft, in comparison with other drafts, is it's yards.
Bar none.
Yeah, bar none. I mean, you got the storylines. Not so much about the flashy suits like the NBA or anything like that.
NBA draft's garbage.
Yeah, we're not talking about the NBA today. We will have an episode, folks, about how we feel about the NBA and our team, the Wizards, but that's not today. This is football. So go on. What were you going to say about? I think you were talking about the Steelers, Steelers Pats. What do you got?
Steelers Pats game. Like I said, that's going to be.
Yeah, that's my number one game to watch.
That's definitely the game of the week for me, anyway.
Yeah.
Then like I said, either the Steelers can get blown out. Because how are you feeling about your Bills this year?
Feel good about them. First of all, they're not going to make it out of the division because of the Pats. But if they go to the playoffs this year, it's definitely going to be via wild card. And for that to happen, especially in the AFC with the teams that you have in the West, they got to win at least 11 games. And I just don't see that happening with the strength of their schedule. And with my Facebook Live, it's all satirical and everything like that. I'll be like, oh, the Bills are going 16-0. Blah blah blah. Bills this year are. It's like the rebuild is coming to a head. They're at 3/4 up the mountain right now, and they're not ready to take the extra step, right? Because you get rid of McCoy, which is a great move when it comes to roster construction and cap room. I mean, we filled up $6.5 million just by cutting him. And let's just be honest, the past year, he recorded the worst yard from scrimmage numbers of his career. It's 2.1 yards from scrimmage on any play that he had. We draft Singletary in the 3rd round, where a lot of people thought that he could have been a late first rounder, but that's just kind of how the running backs are going now. You're not going to see a lot of first round running backs anymore. We got Singletary. We pick up Gore to be a short yardage back. And I mean, some people will be like, oh, Shady was only 31, Gore's 35. What's up with that? The skill sets are different, right? McCoy made his money when he was on the Eagles with speed and elusiveness. And as much I love McCoy, I love what he brought to the Bills, he's lost a step. And people who say he hasn't lost a step, you're living in denial. And he was a very dynamic player. The one thing that I loved about the Rex Ryan era in Buffalo is the saying, what could have been, right? Because you have Tyrod Taylor, who was essentially a career backup in Baltimore, and you pair him with McCoy, you got basically two running backs in the backfield at all times. It was like the greatest story of what could have been. Now we're past that. We definitely have our franchise quarterback of the future. I am 100% in belief of Josh Allen. I never said that about drafting the guy that we drafted from Florida State that was there, Bruce Smith's nephew or whatever. And even going back as far as, Fitzmagic and JP Losman or Trent Edwards, any of those guys, Josh Allen, in comparison to the other quarterbacks that we've drafted in the past 14 years, which has been like 10 quarterbacks, Josh Allen has, I want to say that he has the second strongest arm in the league. I think it's between him and Mahomes. And I would love to see them have a throw off. And then the moves that we made in the offseason, right? So I think we picked up like 16 offensive players, and 6 of them were wide receivers. Now, granted, a lot of people got cut. We cut like 35 players, McCoy being one of them. And, it's exciting to be a Bills fan. I think that the defense hasn't taken the second step. We have a relatively older defensive line, but I think with our first round draft pick this year, I think they're going to put him at a nose tackle on a 3-4, and then in a multiple front defense they might put him out on the edge. I think Ed Oliver is going to be defensive rookie of the year this year, and I'm not just saying that because I'm a Bills fan. I literally think that this guy has the physical prowess and ability to make huge plays. And I know I like Bush. I'm high on Bush too, but I think that Oliver, with the people he has around him, he can break through the line.
No, I can agree with you on that. We got some up and coming talent on the Steelers defense, so I see him getting drowned out a little bit from that limelight. My issue with the Steelers, I think we'll have a decent year. Playoffs, I don't know. I'm a realist, Most people are like, Steelers, we're going to 7. We're going to make it.
Well, I think that you guys have a higher chance of making the playoffs than the Bills do.
Oh, yeah, I'll agree with you on that.
Let's just go there.
I'm worried about my offense this year.
The health of Roethlisberger or just the weapons around him?
No, they did a great job protecting him last year. The O-line. We got a money O-line.
Mm-hmm.
My receivers.
We got Juju, but he's going to be doubled a lot.
He is.
Who's the tight end's name? Smith?
No. Vance McDonald, and then I forgot the rookie's name. It could be Smith. I can't think of his name. We just drafted one. Mm-hmm. And we got another dude, Xavier Grimble, who is like a nobody. I like him. I like him a lot because
he's the big guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He comes through in the clutch sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
I like Grimble.
Who steps into the role of taking AB those numbers? Like who replaces those numbers and how does it happen?
Well, I mean, it's going to be Juju.
Yeah.
He's going to have to learn. This is going to be his make or break year here. He's either going to be
superstar
slated as a second, third string receiver, or he is going to. He's not used to being double teamed. He was double teamed the week 17 last year.
AB sat out, yeah.
Because AB sat out, and he did all right. He's still a young kid. I mean, he was drafted when he was like 20 years old.
Yeah.
He was one of the youngest people to be taken in recent years in the draft. He didn't even have his driver's license.
That's wild.
Yeah. I forgot who it was on the team. They took him out like driving and stuff to get him his license because he was riding a bike to practice.
Learner's permit?
Yeah, he was riding a bicycle to practice, bro.
That's wild.
Yeah.
That's wild.
Hey,
at least you don't have to drive
character
on the Pennsylvania roads.
X factor in the receiver department this year is for the Steelers, James Washington.
Okay.
He started showing up at the end of the year. He had a pretty good preseason.
Mm-hmm.
Old farm boy for the middle of nowhere.
Yeah.
He even said that's what he did to help beef himself up. He lost some weight, put on more muscle. He went home and just worked on the farm also.
Baling hay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And I think that kid's got money in the potential department.
That's a great pick. I like Washington.
Yeah, like I said, this is the second year. It's his rookie season last year.
Mhm.
You know, he's got the bugs, the jitters, still learning. It's a different game than college.
Yeah.
You know, everybody transitions a little bit different.
Well, he's definitely going to have a lot more opportunity now.
Oh, 100%. We got some diamonds in the rough. I mean, we got Schwitzer. Schwitzer's not a bad guy.
Yeah.
But like I said, we've had AB forever, and we've cranked out some money receivers. We're a wide receiver factory, so I could be eating crow on this statement here later on. I'm sure my Steelers buddies, if any of them end up listening to this, I'm gonna get hell for making that statement.
Oh,
But
here we go. Hot take.
that is my hot take. Is
Okay.
the receiving core and the Steelers secondary. We made some draft picks in the secondary department.
Mhm.
Looks like Artie Burns knows his time's coming to a close in Pittsburgh,
Yeah.
and he had a pretty good preseason.
You still have Joe Hayden?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
Love Joe Hayden. I might be wrong about this, but I am 99% sure. Joe Hayden actually lived in Spotsylvania for a while.
That's awesome.
Fun fact, I played Parks and Rec football against him. This
Very
was
cool.
my dad's the one that told me about it, and a guy I work with, he's actually been coaching Parks and Rec for like 30 years, and
Oh, nice.
I went with him one time, and we were talking about that because he's seen Torrey Smith play in
Oh, yeah.
Stafford, and
Mm-hmm.
talked about Joe Hayden, and he played running back because we were like 10, 11 years old, and that kid ate us up.
Yeah.
He was money back then. My dad, that's how he remembered, because he remembered the kid. We've seen him play other games because you show up to play a game,
Mhm,
there'd be another
mhm.
game
Did
going
plan,
on,
yeah.
et cetera, et cetera. And he remember seeing the name come up in college, and he said, sure as heck, he's like, that was the kid.
That's awesome. Small world, man.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah.
same thing with Justin Anderson.
Yeah.
He's from in town.
Yeah.
I think the only reason Anderson ended up as good as he did because his older brother EJ, but that's another story for another day.
We'll do like a hometown famous sports players.
Yeah, we've got a couple guys from the area that have made
Yeah.
it up to the big show, surprisingly.
Ooh, we just had a guy had his first MLB appearance a few days ago for the Royals that played for Riverbend.
Oh, really?
First step back, got his first hit.
I know. Didn't a dude from like Colonial Forge just get a kicking spot somewhere?
Yeah, he plays for the Chargers.
Okay, yeah.
How cool is that?
And I remembered a dude from Ponix got drafted by the Seahawks like in the 5th round, like a year or two ago.
Yeah, that's right.
I don't know that dude's name.
I mean, you got to think about it. You got Bushrod, Torrey Smith, Hayden. I mean, pretty good. Bushrod has a Super Bowl ring, so is Torrey Smith. I mean, Fredericksburg, Virginia, hotspot of football. We could take the crown from, like Tallahassee, Florida, and like the Panhandle, the dirty South. That's a hot take.
Yeah. Something I want to touch back on, I forgot
for it.
earlier. Where did the Patriots get this money for AB?
I don't know. And I when you said cap space, I was like, hold on a second. Where is this money coming from?
Because it's 15 mil, non-guaranteed. And I remember I got in a discussion online earlier with a mutual friend.
Yeah.
And he was like, AB's going to New England. And I was like, nah, bro. One, I think I thought Miami or Jacksonville or somebody was going to cough up the cash and get him. He's got real estate down,
Mm-hmm.
in Florida.
Wide receiver with real estate in Miami.
I thought he was going to go there or the 49ers. Because if you remember, old Jerry Rice was
yeah,
throwing out some fishing lines pretty hard.
He was.
out that way.
that's right. Yeah.
And
Oh, could you imagine if he went across the bay?
I mean, all them teams had some cap space, and they could have dropped the money.
Yeah.
And I ended up looking up. I guess I read it wrong. I thought the Patriots only had like 7 mil in cap space.
Yes.
I must have read like an old story. I mean, I was at work when I was doing this.
Well, I don't know who the Pats cut, for cuts this year, but somewhere along the line, I imagine that they were able to clear something. That's even before this happened, though.
Some of the stories I've seen come up since the AB signing, though, was that they had been sitting on some cap space for a minute. That's part of the reason I feel like that might have been a premeditated move. I think that might have been AB's plan. Like I said, if he wasn't like mentally ill, I think this was pre-orchestrated to get out to wherever he wanted on the market instead of being bound by contract.
Man, could be the smartest move in the history of the NFL.
That's what I'm saying.
Make yourself look like a clown, boys and girls. You'll be able to go wherever you want to in life.
I mean, isn't that what the world's coming to?
Looks like
It's
it.
a sports podcast. Let's not talk about that.
No pop. Did you see Prophet? His post on Facebook, I tagged you in.
With that video?
No, the one where he was like, it was like literally, he got cut. Antonio Brown got cut, and he goes, "I know a team that likes to pick up wide receivers on the cheap." Cough, cough, New England. And then literally like 45 minutes later, he gets
one video that John posted.
Oh, Pat McAfee?
Oh, yeah. The game he called God, and he told him to get the heck out of Oakland.
Get frostbite.
That's my favorite part. That's my favorite part.
You want to get out there? Call him a cracker.
Yeah. Oh, God. It's glorious.
It's wild.
All right, so anybody who's listening to this on Facebook or YouTube or whatever, wherever we stick this thing at, go ahead and comment down below and tell us your picks for the week. We want to hear what you guys think about this week's picks. And on that note, we're going to move to our predictions for the entire season. Who's winning what division and who is going to the playoffs. What do you got here, Josh?
Pretty excited about this. Let's just start with our respective divisions. So I'm going to go AFC East here, and a little bit of a no-brainer. I'm going to go New England, and I think that they're going to win 12 games.
I feel like that is a fair judgment.
Yeah. What do you got in that division there?
Patriots as well. They're taking 11 or 12 games easy.
Yeah, I mean, 2 wins against the Dolphins for sure, and 2 wins against Buffalo. And I think they're going to go 6-0 in that division this year.
I'll get ballsy and I'll say they split a game with the Jets.
Okay. Hopefully it's in New England.
Yeah,
that'd be great.
We can go down to the north.
Yeah. All right. So I'm going Steelers. No other team in that division. I mean, like I said, I was high on the Browns, but something's going to happen with that wide receiver core where either OBJ beats OBJ or somebody gets hurt on the defense or something happens. Browns are my AFC wildcard pick, but the Steelers definitely win that division.
Yeah, that's going to be my choice as well. The old Ratbirds in Baltimore. I think they put too much faith in that the quarterback they got. I can't think of his name right now. I'm
Lamar
really bad with
Jackson.
names. Everybody get used to it.
Yeah.
To old Brad Cox not knowing anybody's name, but I can spit some stuff out about him. Because like you said, he's a scrambler.
Yeah.
I wasn't too impressed with his showing last year. Besides scrambling, that's where they ate us up at in any of those games. Is we'd lock up secondary would play good against him. We'd lock him up, and he would take off running for 15, 20 yards every time. And my whole neighborhood knew it.
I think that, now that everybody has 1 year of film on him, they're just going to have someone to contain him, whether it's
Absolutely.
a linebacker or, outside guide or maybe even they play the nickel and they have the nickel corner on him. I mean, I think it's going to be the Steelers for sure.
I think it's safe to say the Ravens are in a semi-rebuild mode, whereas the Bengals are in full rebuild mode. And the Browns are in it to win it. They are... I think this might be one of the first years in a long time we split games with them. They came out and pulled out a tie against us last year.
Yeah.
I think I've seen us lose to the Browns once, maybe twice my entire life.
They lost when they had Derek Anderson as the quarterback. Like in 2008.
Something like that. The last time I remember them being competitive against us was in Tim Couch times.
Yeah, well, that was a long time ago.
Yeah, exactly my point. My point.
Yeah. You want to do AFC South? Let's just run the AFC, and then we'll go straight to the NFC after that. This is such a toss-up because, Andrew Luck's gone, man. I'm gonna go Houston.
You're going Houston. I'm going Jaggies. Jaggies for the win.
You're jumping on that bandwagon a little bit.
I like Foles, man. And he's going to be the X factor of that team. And he's either going to show up to play and be that guy, the hero of Philadelphia, and pull out that Super Bowl W every game of the year, or he is just going to wither away into dust.
Yeah.
Like he opened the Ark of the Covenant in Indiana Jones.
He did. Yes, he did.
It's going to be one of the two.
Nice one. Yeah, I got a little side note about Nick Foles. Me and Kimber,
Let's hear it.
yeah, me and Kimber were up in Philly, and it was right before they won that Super Bowl. I think it was like wild card weekend. And on 95, as you pass the stadium, they have a big billboard up that says, "We believe in you, Saint Nick." It was like right before Christmas, or right after Christmas, right?
I know exactly what billboard you're talking
so
about.
I look over at Kimber and I go, "They're winning the Super Bowl this year." And sure enough, they won. I mean, hey.
Okay.
Yeah, that's my story.
All right.
Pretty good one. Write it down.
All right, what we got in the West here?
As much as I want to say the Chargers, because I lived in San Diego for a while, and my brother, his favorite team is the Chargers, I think it's going to be Kansas City.
I'm pulling out for the Chargers. If
Yeah.
the Steelers aren't going to the Super Bowl for the AFC, I want the Chargers. I want to see old Philly Rivers get one.
You gotta love him. He's got
the
like
dude's
20
been playing
kids.
like my whole existence of consciousness, just like Tom Brady and Ben Roethlisberger.
Yeah. Bro, I lived in San Diego when that whole draft went down, when they drafted Eli, and Eli wouldn't even wear the damn hat. They trade for Phillip. They have Drew Brees. They have LaDainian Tomlinson. I don't want to go off on a tangent, but like LT there with Drew Brees, awesome team. Drew Brees goes down with an injury. Phillip steps right in. Like, you either love him or hate him, right? Because like some people think he's a dick, but like he speaks what's on his mind. I love him.
Is Antonio Gates back again this year in a supporting role again?
I think he is back for
I think
one more.
He is, but
I don't know how much he's going to play.
Life's gotten the best of me here the past couple weeks, so my roster and football knowledge is a little subpar at the moment.
Life takes a precedence, but like I think that he's back, and God, if they win a Super Bowl for him, I mean, it's not going to be like a Ray Lewis situation, but like I would love to see Gates. I mean, he's one of the best pass catching tight ends of all time.
He is. That is my favorite position in football is tight end.
Yeah, because it's like you're kind of a part of offensive line, but you also get a little sexy and get to catch some balls. Yeah.
The O-line. That's what I played when I played football growing up. I was always O-line or TE, and the offensive line is the most important part of any team. O-line, D-line, and O-line gets paid the least out of everybody.
Yeah, you get to mess up with the big uglies down there, and
you get paid the least, you get injured the most. And
very well. And then most of them go off and have their own podcasts when they retire. Joe Thomas.
That's very true.
Yeah. Let's go to the NFC here. West, let's go run it right back up.
Yeah, let's do it.
You take the lead on this one.
I'm taking the Seahawks.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the Rams.
You're going to take the Rams?
Yeah.
Okay.
I think that money that they just gave the quarterback, oh my God, I can't remember his name right now. They just gave him like $100 million guaranteed.
Yeah, something way too much for
too much. For a quarterback who can't score a touchdown in a Super Bowl, bar less. But like, I think they're gonna do it. I think Gurley's gonna have a hell of a year. They just need to really manage him early in the year. They have the weapons to do it. I love Robert Woods, by the way. I think the Bills should have never got rid of him. But yeah, I think it's gonna be the Rams. Seahawks are my pick to win the wild card in the NFC. I think the Seahawks are going to the playoffs.
For sure.
Wild card.
If I'm wrong about
division.
them winning the division, they're at least making the playoffs.
Yeah.
And the reason I say that is defense.
Yes.
They had a pretty good defense, and they made some more moves in the offseason. I mean, they just got an old
Clowney.
boy.
Yeah.
They've got Clowney from...
fucking Predator, dude. Mm-hmm. I think that, Clowney might just need a change of scenery, and he can be that guy that everybody thought he was going to be.
I know he was a little salty over those owner comments or whatever.
Yes.
I get it.
Yeah, and, likewise.
If you feel you need a change, if you start hating your job for whatever reason, you got a bad manager, bad owner, just bad environment.
All you got to do is call the general manager a cracker, and then get frostbite.
Yeah, gotta freeze your feet, boy. All right, let's go up here. Let's go to south.
South. This is a tough one.
Yeah, I'm torn between the Falcons and the Saints on this one.
Yeah, and that's their first week too, right? Falcons Saints. Yeah.
I think it was. What we got here? Let's go back to these notes.
I'm going Saints. I think that they're just good, man. Alvin Kamara, he's a hell of a runner out of the backfield. I'm going Saints. No one else from that. That's not the wild card division. I think it's going to be the Saints.
No, it's Houston Saints. Atlanta's playing Minnesota.
Oh, okay, yeah. I think it's going to be the Saints. I love Drew Brees to. I mean, he's at the end of his career.
They're dumping the money to try and get him one more ring before.
Yeah, I think so
hangs
too.
Up the cleats.
Yeah. Who do you have?
I'm going with the Saints.
Okay.
I'm torn between the Falcons and the Saints. But I'm going to go with the Saints just because money talks, and they've been working hard.
They saved cap room last year to be able to make it happen for now. I think the Saints are going to be a good team in the NFC this year.
All right, NFC North.
This is the toughest division in football for me right now to decide on, because I think that Chicago, Green Bay, and Minnesota are I think they're just all dead even. Like, as far as skill set goes. I mean, you got Aaron Rodgers, he's Aaron Rodgers, right? But the rest of the team, I mean, I think that I'm going on a limb. I think that Minnesota wins this division on the heels of Kirk Cousins.
That's where I'm feeling. I'm feeling Minnesota stacking that division.
I'm not sold on Trubisky for Chicago, and he played terrible on Thursday. And I can't remember who on the Packers came out and said that, we had to make him play the position of quarterback. Yeah, I wonder how other teams are going to make him do that. I think it's going to be the Vikings.
Yeah, unless Rodgers gets a little jolly this season.
He's got two good players around him. He's got that one wide receiver who had a show out last year, and he's got Jones, the running back, who I think can be. I mean, he was stuffed for not much in the game on Thursday, but I mean, you got Khalil Mack on the other side that you're running against, 15 times a game. That guy's the best defensive player in football right now. Product of Buffalo, UB, by the way. Go Bison. And this is the one that all the hometown people are waiting to hear.
Yeah, this is why we saved it for last, my friend.
Yeah.
All right, NFC East. What are you taking?
Redskins. No, I'm just Cowboys.
Don't give them false hope, man.
Yeah. No. So for me, it could be between the Cowboys and the Eagles, 50-50, but I'm leaning a little bit more towards Dallas because of the offensive line they have, and their defense is stout. Their front seven is really, really good. I'd say top 5 in the NFL for the front seven. Their linebacker is a stud. The one that they just signed for extension.
I'm going Cowboys.
Yeah.
Cowboys, it's the same team from last year, plus, one or two.
Well, you got Zeke too.
Yeah, yep.
Dak Prescott's playing for a Did he sign? I don't even know.
I don't think he got one. He wants way too much.
He wants
money.
a lot of money. Yeah, so he's playing for a contract.
He turned down $30 million.
I guess the signing of the guy from Los Angeles Rams really helps too in their negotiation process.
I think that's what it was. They turned down $30 million a season.
He said he wanted 40.
Yeah, it's out of control. Tom Brady's making 25.
Tom
Something
Brady's
like that. He's taking a pay cut because like
you got to build a team around.
Team player,
yeah,
is going to be You want $40 million a season. Your salary cap's only 100, 110, something like that. That's
52 other players on the team.
It's 35-40% of the salary cap going to your sorry ass who can't even throw the ball. You're riding on Zeke. I kind of get him getting the money because he's the workhorse of the team.
I agree. I'm totally cool with running backs wanting to get their money. I don't like how Le'Veon Bell did it, but that position, you got 8 good years in the NFL. 4 of them you're in your prime. The other 4 you're going down as we got to take the horse to water, right? And then you're out in the field like Old Yeller putting the horse down because their legs give out. Running backs get your money now.
No, I get it. At the same time, Gurley, clean track record.
Yeah.
No off the field incidents.
Yeah.
Came in, practiced, showed up, performed, went home.
Yeah.
Le'Veon Bell, multiple outside incidents.
Zeke, multiple.
Mm-hmm.
A good analogy, I think it was the late, or not the late, but like the greatest of all time, Colin Cowherd, right? That's That's me being sarcastic, by the way. I don't think he's great. He said,
I like listening to him. He makes
he makes good points. He's got really good takes, but I think that he's a little over the top a little bit sometimes. But he said that Dak Prescott leaves the party at midnight. Ezekiel Elliott is eventually taking his shirt off with a lampshade on his head at like 2:30 in the morning. That's the comparison between the two.
Nah, I feel like it's a good one.
Yeah.
All right, so Super Bowl, what you got, Josh?
All right, so I'm going to do 2 picks here. I'm going to do like my fantasy, and then I'm going to do realistic expectations. I'm going to go Buffalo Bills, AFC East champs, running the table in the playoffs to get to the Super Bowl. And then I'm going to probably say like Philadelphia. Because I think that could happen in a fantasy aspect, right? But
I feel somewhat realistic too for
because
Philadelphia.
here's how it goes. Like the Bills have lost a Super Bowl to every single team in that division but the Eagles. So let's just go ahead and lose one to the Eagles too, right? Let's just go full circle. In this fantasy, I'm gonna have the Bills winning 35-27, and then here's my realistic one. I'm gonna go New England in the Super Bowl for the AFC, and then I'm just going to take it all the way home. It's going to be Drew Brees for the NFC with the Saints, and it's going to be like that quintessential 2 old goats, playing it, battling it out. It's like the Super Bowl that we always wanted, right, between Peyton Manning and Tom Brady, but we never got it. So this is what we're going to have. We're going to have the Saints and the Patriots this year. That's me. That's my pick. And I'm going to have the Patriots winning. Hopefully it's not as tight as last game. I think it'll be like another like high 30 score for the Pats, and then the Saints get like 23.
My realistic prediction for the Super Bowl is going to be the Pats against the old Saints.
Yeah, they just look good on paper.
They do, and it's going to be and it fits well for everybody. You got the sports analytics, you got the sports conspiracy theorists, you got the Vegas conspiracies, the ratings, NFL ratings have been going down, apparently. I don't know if that's true or not. I don't believe any of that crap. Yeah, because I still watch football. Everybody I know that's ever watched football still watching football.
Yeah.
But anyway, so Breeze, Brady, through the air showdown, crazy high scoring game.
Yeah.
Everything you want in the Super Bowl. And I'm pulling for Breeze to take that one home by a couple points, 3 points.
Okay. Like a last second field goal, or
49-52, something like that.
Awesome.
Something super crazy.
I would love to see that happen.
Fantasy.
Okay.
My fantasy prediction. We can still go with the Saints because I feel like that's my pick for the NFC to go. I like them the best out of everybody, and seeing Drew Brees go to the big show one more time for the end of the day is pretty appeasing to me. But for AFC in my fantasy lane, obviously I'm going with my boys Pittsburgh Steelers. AFC Championship in Pittsburgh against New England, the real Super Bowl of the season.
Yep.
Shootout to the end. Steelers win 27-21. Tom Brady throws a pick six with 5 seconds left to go in the game on the game-winning drive, trying to get in field goal range. And that's my fantasy prediction, because then I don't even care if we win the Super Bowl after that. Brady's dreams just got crushed.
There's like 3 inches of snow on the ground and someone's running down the sideline.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Awesome.
Absolutely.
Awesome.
Yeah, those are my favorite. Ravens Steelers games and Patriots Steelers games are always my two. We somehow end up playing the Patriots just about every year.
Yeah, anytime you guys go to the playoffs. I'm gonna do one quick add to my fantasy.
What you got, brother? What you prediction.
Got? Wardrobe malfunction at halftime. Let's bring Janet back.
Isn't Jay-Z doing the halftime stuff now?
He is? Is he he's partnered with the NFL now?
Yeah. Didn't his entertainment company just sign that fat old contract with the NFL?
Damn.
Oh yeah, they're gonna do some trifling stuff that first season.
Yeah,
they're gonna have like Colin Kaepernick fucking parachute out of a B-52 Secret Service bomb, or holding a Betsy Ross flag on fire coming down to the field. They're gonna do some trifling stuff just to piss off all the. I hope they do. It'd be awesome.
That would be pretty crazy.
The Facebook would burn.
It would,
Zuckerberg
it would crash.
Shut it down.
Those servers in fucking Nevada, or wherever they are, would be on fire.
That's right. I can see it now.
That would be hilarious. That's awesome. Betsy Ross flag.
Yeah,
Crazy, man.
That's right. Sucks it wouldn't be like right. Super Bowl wouldn't like be right before the election because you have Bernie Sanders shoot up out of the center of the field, shooting money out of a cannon while they're just melting down AR-15s into coins.
Into like the pylons and stuff for the new stadium. Oh my god, that'd be great. Let's just make it happen. Let's make a petition, like storm Area 51, except for make the halftime show great again.
Dude, that's coming up September 20th.
I heard you're going to that show.
What?
I heard you're going to that show.
I'm not going to that show. I got prior family obligations to attend to that day. I would love to go via live feed.
Oh god,
not in person. God no.
They put like a camera out there and like have your face like there, like, oh, reporting live here from the Area 51.
I mean, the hype behind it's dropped probably a lot.
It's starting to resurge a little bit.
I mean, we're coming up on the date. I anticipate at least 20,000 people showing up.
That's wild. The era of social media that we live in.
I mean, look at some of the dumb stuff that happens. You're like, why would these people do this in everyday life? And it still happens. There's going to be some weird, strange folks that, as long as they're happy, God bless them. But they're going to make some poor decisions.
And no one gets hurt, hopefully.
Oh, God, no. The death tolls are going to be... Well, you probably won't know about
Yeah,
them.
we probably
we'll think that people showed up and then just went home. We'll see deep fakes of people driving off and saying, oh, I just didn't think it was worth it. It was just a big joke. And in reality, they're just carting off thousands of corpses. They just got mowed down by the GOVT.
Oh, shit. You know, it would be really to stay for, like, people sticking to their beliefs and, like, saying that they're going to do something when they say it, right? Like, oh, we're going to storm this thing. And then, like, oh, no, you're not. Like, oh, 20,000 people just showed up. They're storming it now. Can we make a video game? The Storm Area 51 video game?
Somebody did something with it. I'll have to send it to you. I forgot what game it was, but they made a video of like people storming Area 51. It's some old, it's probably like a 7-year-old game, and it was like some realistic military game. And
it was like DayZ or something like that? Or no, not DayZ.
I think it was DayZ.
Was it? Okay.
I think so. And somebody modded it, so you're going after Area 51, and people are just getting mowed down. And they got the regular civilians like coming in on like planes and helicopters and Chargers and Durangos. And it's just like the government mowing down. It's like a 12-minute video of just people getting mowed down. And it is phenomenal.
That's wild. This is how we can go off on a tangent, folks.
Yeah, this is true. I know we want to talk about old Andrew Luck.
Yeah, we got to get to
for
that.
A bit.
Yeah.
Which I agree we do need to talk about old Lucky Ducky here and his short-lived career.
Yeah. I got a few points on this.
Not Area 51. Unlucky Ducky.
Unlucky Ducky.
Thoughts, feelings.
Yeah, I feel for him. Totally agree with the decision that he made. Because in the end, there's life after football, right? And do you want the quality of your life to be crappy with a lot of money, or do you want to be healthy? I mean, he's got a young, beautiful wife. You know, that he even came out and said, like, you know, like that year off when he was injured really saved his marriage. Like, yeah, I'd 100% agree with what he did. You know, 5 years ago, if you were to tell me that Robert Griffin would still be in the league and Andrew Luck would be out of the league, I probably would have slapped you in the face. But
I can agree with you on that.
It's, and like, Brad, I'm not, like, this is going to be a 30 for 30, and it's been like a 30 for 30 that's been in planning for like ever since they were both drafted together. And now it's like, I want a petition to be able to make this 30 for 30 because like it's going to happen. It's wild. He's the first player who was, I mean, lock it in. He was going to be a Hall of Famer, right? Can you agree with that?
100%. I can probably agree with that. If he at least got to the big show,
yeah,
it would have been a lock.
Yeah, if he won a Super Bowl, he would have been a lock. I mean, there's players in there that don't have Super Bowls that are in the Hall of Fame, but he would have been a lock if he won one. He was the number one talent coming out of high school. He was the number one talent coming out of college when he was a freshman at Stanford. And then he played his Stanford season, and he showed out. And then he gets drafted number one, unanimous decision. RG3 has his catastrophic rise and then catastrophic collapse after his great first year. And then, it could be said that the Colts, they didn't put any money into the offensive line to protect him, and everything that happened with Jim Irsay and like all the hush money that people are talking about, his DUIs and everything like that. Like, I feel for Andrew Luck. I support him in this 100%, and I think that it's terrible for the people that were at that game, that preseason game, to boo like they did, because this guy, he put his body on the line for you, and that type of, it's just terrible reception. And also Adam Schefter for breaking the news during the middle of the game and forcing poor choice, and forcing him to have to do a press conference after the game rather than him just doing it himself like he was planning on doing it. Terrible. ESPN, that's terrible for that. I hate ESPN. That's it.
Yeah, ESPN's definitely tanking in my soul, but that's a story for a different day.
Yeah.
And, it sucks. I liked Andrew Luck. I mean, he was definitely a conference rival because those were always tough games playing against him. So in that aspect, it's good for me. But like I said, the kid was good. Sportsmanship level. Through the roof. If you haven't seen it, you need to look it up on YouTube or whatever. There's a great comp video of Andrew Luck just complimenting people after he gets crushed.
Nice hit, man.
Yeah, man. I do just like playing the game of football, and that's the thing I think sucks the most is he really did enjoy playing the game. Probably more than most people actually do. Like, that was his thing. And you can see it, and you can see it in his press conference.
Yeah, the emotion.
He's getting upset, crying, and I don't blame him. If I had to give up something I loved like that, I would be completely destroyed. So, I don't even think it was about the money for him. I think he just loved the game. I think he'd give all that money back if he could just have some healthy legs and keep playing another 5 years.
Oh, 100%. I agree.
Colts fan booing. While you want to say it's messed up at the same time, I can understand. I don't really know too many Colts fans. The few I do know are pretty chill people, but if he was in Baltimore and that happened, he wouldn't even made it out the stadium. They probably would have tarred and feathered him.
Or Philly.
Yeah. That would be, he'd be written off from the history of the books.
Yeah.
In that city. Because they would all take it super personal. So I kind of understand you're going to get upset. I do understand a little bit because, talking about how you're getting ready to go and you're feeling good, and then all of a sudden the injury that you had that was supposed to be all right turns into something else, and then next thing you know, 2 weeks later you're retiring. Like I said, I get both sides of the coin, but at the end of the day, I'm taking Andrew Luck, and like I said, he could keep tearing his body up, and then he can't play with his grandkids at 50.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'd love to have a beer with that guy.
Yeah, I agree with you on that.
Possibly like a non-alcoholic Heineken, because I don't know if he drinks.
You think he drinks O'Doul's?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One thing I'm going to miss is on Twitter, there was the Civil War neckbeard profile on Twitter. And because every game he would play, they do like a summary of like a Civil War soldier riding home. And it's great. Like, it'll be like, we went against the hard Northman in Minnesota. And we lost a few to the fumble, but we came back with an aerial volley that really gave us the position to win the battle. Like, it was
Why
great.
did I not know about this?
I mean, honestly, I'm not gonna lie to you. Like, I found out about it late last year because I was on Twitter for a while, then I got off Twitter and then got back into it a little bit. But Yeah, it was great. I'm gonna miss that. You can find every single one of them. Like somebody on the internet has definitely put everything on a website.
I need to go check out AB's Twitter tonight because I'm sure there's gold in those comments.
Yes. We need to do a segment next week of golden comments from AB's Twitter.
Oh yeah, dude, the helmet. Hashtag helmet.
Hashtag Helmetgate.
Oh my God, that was a show.
Yeah.
Show.
I'll send you a plastic knockoff novelty helmet that's autographed. Here's my Pop Warner helmet.
Yeah, that's right.
God.
So yeah, we're getting a little lengthy here. I guess we're gonna go ahead and start winding this bad boy down until next week. You should definitely tune in throughout the season. You know, we're gonna do this every week, and we're not just gonna be talking about football.
Oh no.
You know, we got basketball, we got baseball, we got hockey. You name it. Anything else going on either too? That's notable about talking about. You know, as things ramp up, I got a couple fun ideas. Maybe a couple weeks in, I was thinking about maybe doing a little private, like FanDuel fantasy league.
Yes.
It's either free or maybe like 25 cents or something. If you FanDuelers out there, I know I'm deep in the FanDuel life.
Yeah.
That'd probably be pretty fun.
I think it'd be great. I think that we need to do a complete sports betting segment.
Oh, that's a sickening world.
Yeah.
I had a guy riding with me at work not too long ago, told me he was a recovering gambling addict from sports gambling. Oh, it sounded terrible.
I gambled away my child's school shoes.
I mean, he didn't have kids, but if he had kids, it sounds like he would have.
Damn. Yeah, I think that we're gonna do some cool stuff. Eventually I want to be able to bring one person in who is a fan of a different team, them give us their takes of where they're at, you know, football wise during the season, looking forward, everything like that. We both have a lot of friends who like a lot of different teams. And
this is very true.
It's always great to get the perspective from somebody who is a fan of that team, you know, because we're both outside looking in on a lot of them. And we share a similarity in, you know, the Wizards, but as far as other teams go,
that's true.
Yeah, well, we're going to do a full set about Ernie Grunfeld. It just the train wreck that was for the past...
Refired, whatever you want to call
Refired. Yeah, maybe we should have a
10 years
party
too late.
for him. Like a party, Ernie Grunfeld. Let's bring him in the booth.
He's probably, he's not hurting for money.
Nah, probably not. He's homies with Ted Leonson still. Yeah. But, hey, listen, so, hockey season starts up in 2 months. Right around
basketball.
So is basketball. So that's a big week right there.
Got MLB playoffs starting up too.
Playing up too. This is like the time where, we got through the dog days of summer. We're into the best sports that we have in America that are all, predominantly like football is my favorite sport to watch and follow. And I'm pretty sure same for you.
Yeah, I'm football, basketball, man.
Yeah, football, basketball. I'm a hockey guy, so I'll definitely be throwing some insight into that. But yeah, we got a lot of cool stuff. Keep in the sports realm, and then go off on some wild tangents occasionally.
All right, everybody. If you like any of this, go ahead and like and subscribe. Follow the Facebook page, and whatever else we're throwing this up on, so that we can stay updated. Comment. That way we'll be interacting with you guys as the season goes on, and tell us, make some suggestions on what you'd like to hear us talk about. We're just spitballing here with predictions this week because. It's big day tomorrow, and football's back. I mean, football was technically back a couple days ago, but
yeah, week 0.
We got
college.
a whole series of games tomorrow.
Oh yeah.
So
recap episode next week before week 2, and then predictions for week 2, and carry it in.
Yeah, these episodes are probably gonna start getting a lot more lengthy than this.
The first one had to be pretty good. This has been the Fairweather Fancast. Thank you.
Later.